understanding your cash flow is all about knowing where your money comes from and, of course, where it's going. So joining us tonight is Renée Rebelo from Life Coach Financial Services with 5 ways that we can increase our cash flow today, and doesn't involve stealing coins from the coin jar?
Well, it could, but that's not one of my 5 points. We only have 5 today. And
Okay.
we need to make them actionable and things that people can do today. One of the biggest things, no matter where you are in your phase of life, is worrying about where you're spending your money. Everyone always says, I have more month than I have money at the end of it. And, so if we can try to find some of those little leaks and patch them up, then you can actually have more money than month.
That would be a good thing.
So
great.
how can we start?
Okay,
Where do we start?
I have 5 tips that people can implement today and start looking into. And of course, the first one, when I say it, everyone's going to be like, oh, yes. It's consolidate your debts. So, look at all your debts. Look at your credit cards, look at your loans, look at your mortgage, your lines of credits, and consolidate them. Look at those interest rates. Look how much interest you're paying per month, and not just in your actual charges, but in the actual cash flow. If you added up all the payments that you're making on those multiple items, it'll be a substantial amount of money. If you consolidate them into one item, no matter what that item happens to be, just look at the rate, you'll lower your monthly cash flow. So it will help you reduce your cash payments. And the other thing is the mortgage rates and the mortgage rules are changing in January. So if you've thought about doing it, do it now, because the bank is changing all the lending rules come January 1st, 2018. So this is the time to definitely look at that option.
So the lending rules would mean that you would probably have to pay down some because you need to have a greater investment?
Well, the lending rules make it harder to borrow the money.
Okay,
So
if you already have a mortgage.
Well, then if you're still if you already have a mortgage and you're looking to consolidate some of these things into it, you have to qualify under the new rules after January 1st.
The other thing I've been told, too, is, for example, if you have credit card debt, but you have a credit line at maybe 3.5%, it might be a good idea to pay off the credit card and put it on that.
Absolutely. You definitely want to look at the interest rates on all your items that you owe money on. So, for example, if you have a car loan at 0%, you're not going to put it on a line of credit at 3.
No.
But if you have a credit card at 12.99 or 19.99, which is not only compound interest, but it's also a higher rate, then definitely add it onto your line of credit and get that interest rate down. It'll save you in your interest charges. It'll also help you in your monthly cash flow out to pay these monthly.
Okay, next tip.
So next tip is to go through your monthly bills. You know what? Take a minute, go through your bank account statement and take a peek at what's coming out of your account and your credit cards, by the way. You never know what's being charged every month. Cancel the gym membership if you're not going. We're all very optimistic in January.
Did that.
And by September, we've forgotten. Get in there. Are you using Netflix? Great. Then look at your Cogeco or your cable bill and take a peek. Maybe you need to shy back on some of those services. Look at magazine subscriptions, any kind of memberships. And for people who are single like me, if you've got a Match or any kind of dating website subscription that you're not using, cancel it, because there's free ones out there. Just remember, if you're using free, to have thick skin, because you get what you pay for sometimes. So just remember that.
Okay, and so tip number 3?
Tip number 3 is actually around home and car insurance. So look at your policies, visit with your broker, and take a peek at them and find ways that you can change the payments that you make per month. Something as simple as raising your deductible. So most people have $300. Why do they have it? They don't know, just because they always have. But if you raise it to $1,000, which most people won't make a claim anymore if it's less than $1,000, you'll substantially save in your premium annually and monthly. So take a peek at those policies and see what you have.
Okay, yeah, I know our deductible's at $1,000 because the tree branch that fell on the pergola, it wasn't worth. Poor little pergola. It didn't stand a chance, but I'll just have to wait for spring for a new one, because I wasn't going to claim for it on the insurance.
No, exactly. If it's under $1,000, most won't.
Yeah.
So put the deductible up.
Next tip?
So the other thing is basically our social lives. So eating out with friends and doing things with our family and friends, and look for ways that you can do it for free. Eating out is a huge expense per month on a cash flow.
I was going to say that. I'm single, so I end up going, to cook for one person.
I get it. I'm single too.
Yeah.
I usually find married friends and say, hey, what are you doing? Can I come for dinner?
Okay, last tip, because we got something else to talk
Oh,
to.
yes. So the last tip is change the withholding tax on your paychecks. So your employer takes an amount off for tax each year. If you're getting a refund every year on your taxes, then you probably need to change the withholding amount that the employer is holding. And instead of letting the government hold that money for the whole year until you get it in April, then use that money to save in a tax-free savings account. And I actually have a high-interest savings 2.25 available for my clients. So if anyone's interested in getting that rate, they can like my Facebook page, and I will extend that offer to them. So when you actually save on that, you're actually saving for yourself.
Okay, now you have an event coming up, Savvy Living for Women event. That's on Thursday, November 16th at 6 p.m. It's an evening of education, pampering, and socializing for women only. And tickets are $25, and they can learn more about that at savvylivin.ca.
That's correct. And they can get all the information. And if they go to the annual events tab on that website, then it'll give you the rundown on what they can expect, from the firefighters to the wine to the martinis to the apps to the speakers.
Oh, we're in.
And the comedian.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll
okay.
be a fun night for girls.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
You bet. Thank you so much for having me.